What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to MMA Action Hub. Arman Tsarukyan accidentally sends his coach flying out of the octagon during training. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe. Now let's begin. During an intense training session focused on pad work, lightweight contender Arman Tsarukyan unintentionally sent his coach flying out of the octagon. The incident occurred when Tsarukyan, known for his explosive striking, delivered a powerful kick that knocked his coach off balance, causing him to tumble out of the cage. While the moment brought laughter from teammates and onlookers, it also highlighted Tsarukyan's raw power ahead of his upcoming fights. As Belal Muhammad gears up for his title defense against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 315, his training camp has been nothing short of intense. Muhammad has been working extensively on his striking and grappling to counter Maddalena's aggressive boxing style. With his relentless pressure and cardio, Muhammad aims to prove why he deserves to hold the welterweight title. His recent sparring footage showcases his refined striking and defensive skills, ensuring he is well prepared for the upcoming showdown. UFC President Dana White has officially announced a highly anticipated bout between Micheal Chandler and Paddy Pimblett for UFC 314, scheduled for April 12th. This fight is expected to be a thrilling clash between Chandler's experience and explosive power against Pimblett's dynamic grappling and striking. Fans are eager to see if Pimblett can rise to the occasion against a top-tier opponent like Chandler, who is known for his ability to end fights with a single punch. Featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski is set to defend his title against the rising contender Diego Lopis at UFC 314. The matchup promises an exciting clash of styles, with Volkanovski's elite striking and championship experience going up against Lopis' submission threats and unpredictable fighting style. Volkanovski, known for his resilience, aims to silence doubters once again, while Lopis sees this as the biggest opportunity of his career to capture UFC gold. Renowned MMA coach nicksick has publicly acknowledged his mistake in criticizing Strickland, a fighter he has worked with closely. Nicksick admitted that his comments were unnecessary and should have been addressed privately rather than in the media. He expressed regret over his words, reaffirming his respect for Strickland's work ethic and dedication to the sport. The coach's apology highlights the importance of maintaining strong relationships in the highly competitive world of MMA. Justin Gathje has opened up about the mental challenges he faced during his fight with Max Holloway, calling it the toughest battle of his career. Gathje, known for his aggressive fighting style, admitted that Holloway's relentless pressure and unbreakable spirit pushed him to his limits. Despite the difficulties, Gathje emerged with a newfound respect for his opponent and acknowledged that such fights shape a fighter's legacy in the octagon.
What has been your hardest fight mentally? I think the Max fight was a very difficult fight mentally for me because he's a 145 pounder, I had never, ever pictured or dreamt or thought that I would ever fight him. And then when it came along, it was really a mental challenge to get myself there. And yeah, that was a tough one.
The much-anticipated bout between Rakhmonov and Belal Muhammad has been cancelled after Rakhmonov announced he had sustained an injury. This news came as a disappointment to fans, as the fight was expected to be a high-stakes battle in the welterweight division. While Muhammad now prepares for a different opponent at UFC 315, Rakhmonov will focus on recovery, hoping to return stronger for future title contention. Ahead of their title fight, Alexander Volkanovski sent a direct message to Diego Lopis, stating, "Happy you are getting the opportunity to fight for the belt, but I am still here. You ain't having it, sorry mate." This message reflects Volkanovski's confidence and determination to retain his championship. As the fight approaches, Lopis remains focused on his strategy, knowing he has a tough challenge ahead in facing one of the best featherweights in UFC history.
Yeah, Lopez, obviously a dangerous dude. Bit of a different matchup to Ilia. Obviously both dangerous fighters. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Very excited. But I'm feeling great and I'm only going to get better from here. So that's a scary thing, especially for Lopez. I think Lopez is in for a very, very hard fight. He's a gamer. He's a great dude. I got a lot of respect for him. A very nice fella. I'm sure he's expecting to go out there and win the belt. But I'm sorry, mate, that ain't happening. Good on you for being in this position. Happy you're getting the opportunity to fight for the belt, but I'm still here. You ain't having it. Sorry, mate.
Dricus Du Plessis has responded to Belal Muhammad's criticism, in which Muhammad claimed Duplessis sucks as a fighter. In his reaction, Duplessis fired back by questioning Muhammad's finishing ability, saying, "Has he ever finished anyone? The UFC doesn't even like Belal Muhammad. He's definitely better on Twitter than he is in fights." The war of words has added an extra layer of tension between the two fighters, leaving fans wondering if their paths will eventually cross inside the octagon.
I'd love to ask you about something Belal Muhammad said over the weekend to Barstool Sports. He said, quote, "For me, I'd rather go to 185 and let Makhachev just take 170. Since I've already had to fight my way up to 170, I've beaten 5 top 10 guys. I'm 2 fights away from being able to challenge for the middleweight title, saying, hey, I want to be double champ. I think 185 is probably the easiest weight class. Besides Khamzat, when you look at that UFC 312 main event, you're like, bro, Strickland and Duplessis suck." End quote. Have you seen this quote?
Yeah.
And regardless, what do you think of what he said?
I think I saw it. Yeah, I saw something along those lines. Belal Muhammad, I can't even remember the way he fights. I don't know. The man, has he ever finished anyone?
Sean Brady a couple of years ago was one of the few finishes in his current winning streak.
All right. Well, happy for him. No, it's just, I mean, I like how he acts as if he has a choice to ever go up to 185. Like, the UFC will never let him. Like, if he wants to do that, he would have to, abandon his belt. He would give up his belt, vacate and go up to 185, and there's no way they give him a direct title shot. There's no way. The UFC doesn't even like Belal Muhammad. So what makes him think that he hasn't even defended his belt once? I don't know why he's definitely better on Twitter than he is in fights. I have to say that.
Are you motivated at all by? I mean, he is on a run. And he does say these things about you in the weight class. If, the stars align and this is presented to you, are you intrigued by this matchup at all?
No, I mean, that would be unfair.
It would be unfair, you said?
Unfair. Yeah, if I fought for Muhammad, it would be unfair. It would, yeah.
Meaning it would be a very one-sided matchup?
100%. Have you seen the size of the man? What is he going to do? Is he going to get somebody to help him? Is he going to sit on somebody's neck? How is it going to work? He's the smallest. I couldn't believe that he's at 170 when I saw him. I couldn't believe that he fights at 170.
Just for fun, how do you think that fight goes?
I step on his head and it's over. That's how that fight goes.
All right, fair enough.
Israel Adesanya reflects on motivating Alex Pereira. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to help support the channel. In a recent Instagram video, Israel Adesanya addressed a fan's question about his past remark referring to Alex Pereira as that guy in a bar. Adesanya expressed no regrets, stating that his comment served as motivation for Pereira to pursue a career in MMA. He remarked, "I don't regret it. I'm glad I did because it motivated him. Look what we've created. I created a monster."
Magic, do you regret calling Alex Pereira that guy in a bar? If you could go back, would you say it again?
I don't regret it, no, because I was right. And also I don't because it motivated him. It's, again, I love this fucking story, eh? It's just the best. Like, he's actually at a bar drinking and there's like, Shama, boom, decides to become, MMA fighter, or well, he was already an MMA fighter, but decides to like take it seriously and get to the UFC and fight me, chase me. But again, like I said, he chased me. I didn't do that. But I don't regret it, no. I am glad I did because it motivated him. And look what we've created. I created a monster.
Michael Chandler is set to face Paddy Pimblett in the co-main event at UFC 314 on April 12, 2025 in Miami, Florida. Chandler has expressed confidence in securing an early knockout, stating, "I respect Paddy, but I think he's going to run into a buzzsaw named Micheal Chandler on April 12th. He emphasized his intention to separate our opponent from consciousness.
After the last fight, one of the most disappointing losses of my career, I wanted to get right back on the horse, get right back in the octagon. So here we go. I like the matchup. Love the matchup, actually. I respect Paddy. I think Paddy's a skilled fighter. I think he's still got a bright future, but I think he's going to run into a buzzsaw named Micheal Chandler on April 12th. And as always, I will be the most entertaining guy that steps inside the octagon that night. I will have everybody on their feet. I will have everybody on the edge of their seat. And typical Chandler fashion, we're going out there with one goal in mind, and that's to separate our opponent from consciousness. So, can't wait. We head into training camp today, and for the next 8 weeks, we're going to be getting after it. Thank you guys for being with me on this journey. God bless. I'll see you at the top.
In preparation for his upcoming bout against Alex Periera, Magomed Ankalaev has been training alongside heavyweight contender Alexander Volkov. This collaboration aims to enhance Ankalaev's striking and grappling skills, providing him with diverse sparring experiences to better prepare for Periera's fighting style. During a recent public appearance, Alex Periera surprised a fan by gifting them a substantial sum of money. This act of generosity highlights Periera's appreciation for his supporters and his desire to give back to the community.
Thank you. Alex Periera.
To diversify his grappling techniques, Alex Periera has enlisted the help of Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist Dillon Denis in his training camp. This partnership aims to enhance Periera's ground game as he prepares to face Magomed Ankalaev. Dan Hooker has candidly discussed the potential physical toll of his upcoming fight against Justin Gaethje. He stated, "I'm going straight on a stretcher, straight into the back of an ambulance and going to the hospital," acknowledging the intense and potentially grueling nature of their anticipated bout.
I know full well, 100%, that this fight is going to end, no matter whether his arm gets raised, my arm gets raised, and then I'm going straight on a stretcher, straight into the back of an ambulance, and I'm going to the hospital. So I've come to terms that's how this night is going to end, baby. I've come to terms with that, brother. So I've embraced that. So if someone's not ready to go to the lengths that I'm willing to go to, then they're going to have a hard night.
Belal Muhammad has expressed confidence in his skill set as he prepares to face Jack Della Maddalena. He stated, "I am better everywhere compared to Jack Maddalena. I think they underestimate my hands in striking." Muhammad aims to showcase his well-rounded abilities in their upcoming matchup.
But what do you think is the most dangerous thing about JDM, and what do you need to worry about?
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I'm better everywhere. People were going to say, and they're going to ready to come out like, "Oh, he got hands. But I think they just underestimate my hands and my striking, and I just went against the best striker in the UFC, and Leon Edwards, so-called. I train with the best striker in the UFC, Ignacio Bonmendez. I train with Yair Rodriguez. Both these guys, if you've seen them spar, you guys seen it, they're a different level. So when I have a guy that's basic, and Jack, who's just boxing, right? He has really good hands, he has good power, but he breaks a lot of these guys down because he hasn't fought anybody like me. His biggest weakness is his experience."
Rizvan Magomedov, manager of UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev, has called for Ilia Topuria to face top contenders Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira to establish himself as a legitimate lightweight contender. This statement comes as Topuria considers moving up to the lightweight division. Despite their scheduled bout, Micheal Chandler has expressed respect for Paddy Pimblett's potential. He stated, "I respect Paddy, I think he still has a bright future, but I think he's going to run into a buzzsaw named Micheal Chandler. Chandler remains focused on his goal to secure a decisive victory. These developments highlight the dynamic and competitive nature of the UFC, with fighters continually seeking to improve and make impactful statements, both inside and outside the octagon.
I believe I'm going to put a pressure on him. I believe he will know right away within the first exchange he's not stepping into the octagon with Bobby Green, with Tony Ferguson. It's just a different level. And I still believe where I'm at, it's a bad matchup stylistically for him. That first time he gets hit by one of the toughest punchers in the UFC lightweight division, which he has not faced yet, it's going to be a different feeling. It's going to be a different speed. It's going to be a different ferocity that he hasn't felt before. But I do believe he's got some momentum right now, and the paddy train stops in Miami, and he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. And he's great dude, but I plan on landing some big punches and finishing him early. He's going to try to stay away from me, and I'm going to slowly and methodically and surgically walk him down until his heart rate gets so high that the lactic acid sets in. He starts second guessing himself. He's going to be on his back foot. His back is going to be close to the cage. And I'm going to land a right hand or a left hook and put his lights out within the first couple rounds.